I see glory in its face. Shortly the presence of joys in this place. Surely the presence of peace is in this place. I can feel its loving power and its peace. There's a holy truth within us that no error can replace. Surely the presence of peace is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel its tender power and its grace. There's a holy glow within us that nothing can erase. Surely the presence of love is in this place.
I'd like to thank Mr. Thush. This morning, he sent out the newsletter early this morning, and I hope you all look at it. And the newsletter is a statement, and it's about summer. It's about, I called this little, and he outlined how to do. Look for fun and joy. Be authentic. Be kind, very kind. And spread your love and your joy and your kindness as you're doing all the things we're doing. So I hope you all read the newsletter, especially that last page. There are so many activities, all of us, our calendars are filling up as we speak. They're getting stuff written on it. This is the beautiful time of year here. We live in such a gorgeous climate. Doesn't get too cold, doesn't get too hot. There's 2 or 3 warm days a year, and that's the day we can just take off and sit in the air conditioner if we want to. But there's so many things to do in this beautiful place we call home. So let's get out and do it and follow Wayne's ideas and words. Look for the joy, have fun, be authentic, and be kind and loving. And so it is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you realize that my putting out that newsletter is just a job of joy. Another way that I find my joy. I really do enjoy putting it together. However, there were some not so joyful times a little over a week ago. On Tuesday, Nancy had another episode where she could not stop regurgitating whatever foodstuffs or saliva or water was trying to go down her esophagus into her stomach. She had done this for the first time in March, and I took her to the emergency room in Petaluma, and we were there for a couple hours, and nothing ever really got decided, and she finally said, I've got to get out of here, so I took her home against medical advice. Well, this time, she just didn't stop after a couple of hours. She kept on regurgitating for hours and hours and hours. So I took her back to the Petaluma Valley Hospital, and they eventually transferred her by ambulance up to Memorial in Santa Rosa, where they did a endoscopic exam with a gastroenterologist who they did not have on staff in Petaluma. So she wound up spending 2 full days at Memorial, where they used a tiny camera to go down her throat, her esophagus, all the way to her stomach, and they gave her a thorough exam through that whole system. And what they were able to determine is that foodstuffs had been regurgitated, and she had also accidentally aspirated some of it into her lungs. So she had pneumonia as well as this regurgitation problem. And I'm going, what? That can't be. What do you mean pneumonia? Well, they successfully treated the pneumonia while she was there and used a balloon device to widen the restriction in her esophagus and have given her medication to help keep it that way, hopefully forever. We think it's working, we hope. Unlike most of her prior episodes, this one felt a bit more serious, especially since memorial doctors wanted to refer her for palliative care. And I looked up palliative care, and it sounded a bit more serious than the usual sort of care. And in fact, it's usually the last step before one goes into hospice, which we didn't want to even consider at that point. So I said, thank you, but no thank you. We brought her home from Memorial a week ago, Thursday, and she seems to be doing quite well. As you can see, she's looking lovely today, by the way. But she is a bit weaker physically. So we consulted with our general practitioner a few days ago, and he approved a referral to a skilled home health care. So an RN is going to come out and help us make sure that everything's well in our environment, and that will assist her in getting better. So she's going to evaluate our living arrangement for safety. She'll give nutrition advice, and we'll also provide physical therapy. And I said she, that's the old, right now a nurse could be she or a he or a they. This will enable me to feel a lot more comfortable about how to handle future medical episodes. So that whole week, though, was a serious drain on my confidence as Nancy's sole caregiver, because I thought I had truly blown it when I didn't insist that we get to a resolution after that March visit for the same issue. But this time, it shook me to my core when I had to leave her awake and alone in her hospital bed, when she was almost in tears, couldn't understand why I was leaving her there, and I couldn't explain it so that she would. But I knew I had to get home. It'd been a full day. I needed a good night's sleep, and I spent a few moments in the car calling on Spirit for help in sending light, love, and healing energy to her. And fortunately, I managed to get a doctor to go in and visit with her, and he told her how to watch a sports event on TV, and he turned it on for her, and he said that she got engrossed, and she didn't miss me at all. Well, he didn't say that. I'm just guessing that. So now, I'm learning that I am not the perfect caregiver. I still allow myself to get angry over things that she cannot control, like memory. And I still need to be more patient with the pace of this new life, but I'm still feeling okay with our current circumstances. And most of the time, Nancy seems to be comfortable and content. And I guess I may be doing some things right, because recently, just a day or so back, after helping her sit at the community dining room table and getting her coffee and helping her get up from her chair and properly aligning her with her walker, as we were slowly leaving that community dining room, one little old lady in her 90s near the door said words that made me chuckle and still warmed my heart. She said, "If I ever decide to get me another husband, I'd want him to be just like you." Watch out what you wish for.
Wayne, thank you very much. Don't we all go? Time's a challenge, and that's why we have each other. That's why we have this family. And so, thank you, Wayne, and hang in there.
We're doing it.
And I'm not in the mood for a husband, just so. Never mind. Well, good morning, everyone. We've got, the summer's just getting busy. I've got some announcements I'm just going to go down through and read them. This Friday, the 6th at 9:35, we're going to ring out danger for 5 minutes. So we invite you to come and participate in that. June 8th, a week from today, is our board meeting at 9 o'clock in the hall. On the 12th and the 26th will be the Ladies' Spiritual Book Study at Valley Village. The 14th, we're having a work party here from 9 a.m. to noonish. And we're going to probably cut and hack outside. We're going to have the pancake breakfast the 12th of July, and some of our trees in the front yard, you walk and they poke you in the eyes. So we might kind of raise that level up around. And the trees in the back by the fence are getting big, and we need just do a little trimming and pruning and cutting and hacking. So we'll see what happens. The 29th will be potluck. And on that day, I'd like to give everybody a heads up. At 1 o'clock, there's going to be a wedding right here. They're parking across the street because their reception is going to be in the McCarty room. And they're paying us an obscene amount of money to use our room for about 45 minutes. So I'd like everyone to be as quiet as you can after we leave church. Let's get out of here right at 12 o'clock and go. We can have potluck. But when we're walking outside, let's remember there's a ceremony going on in here and just offer them our consideration and respect. Then it comes to Kids Day on the 12th of July. And I hope you can all be here to participate in whatever fashion. And that's our pancake breakfast and everything going on. So are there any other announcements? Yes.
Next afternoon at 3 o'clock at the Burton Recreational Center. Doors open at 2:30. Tickets are $10, but if you want to go and cannot afford, I'm sure one of us will take care of it. Thank you.
All right. And what time is that again?
3 p.m.
3 p.m. at the Burton Center.
So you have time to socialize, hang out, close the door safely, and come support us.
Wow. That's like one-stop shop of the
whole
whole thing.
Day.
Wow. And you can win stuff probably.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I know that in the past there's been win stuff. You can win stuff when your ticket, then they get the raffle tickets.
In the past we've had an opportunity drawing. I don't know if we're doing that. I'm working nights and my corral has been practicing hard without me there.
Okay. All right. Any other announcements? Let's shift our attention and intention and prepare to send our light and our love and our acceptance to those who are going through challenge and dark times. I know Ron is having some tough times. And speak out the names of others that can use some light and some love.
Deal. Wayne and Nancy.
Renee and Cynthia.
Connie. Paul.
Kathleen.
Jeffrey.
We heard those names. Let's send our love and our light and our caring and our warmth to those going through times of darkness and challenge, and maybe some fear and some anxiety. Every one of us goes through those times, every one of us. So let's do what we can and trust in Spirit to take care of it. In times of darkness, one small candle can be seen for long, long distances. And may our light be seen wherever it's needed. And so it is. Well, let's sing a song. We started off this morning. We can feel the presence of joy. Let's sing about the joy, 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 joy down in our hearts. And let's stand up and do that.
I've got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I've got the joy, joy in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I have the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I have the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Down in my heart.
One more time, Maestro.
I have the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I have the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay. I have the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Down in my heart. Down in my heart. I have the peace that passes understanding down in my heart. Down in my heart to stay.
We got it all. Now it's time to greet each other in the traditional church.
We didn't sing songs like that in Catholic church when I was a little boy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hello. See you Monday. Good to see you. Thank you. Gets to me a little sometimes. Hello.
Tickles my heart that you do this thing big when you do it.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're the best. I know. I'm another old timer.
If we did this at church when I was a kid, I would have liked church a lot more.
Oh,
It's pretty grim.
just down on your knees, up on the chair. Down on your knees, up in the pew. Down on your knees, up in the pew. Speaking language nobody can understand. That smelly stuff carried around in the smoky can. All the water in the back.
I wonder what it was so I could taste it.
Oh, it's nasty stuff. Oh, you don't know where that water's been. Or the stuff that's been in that water. Did everybody get their fill of that good stuff? We can do more if you want. What we'll do, we'll talk about abundance, and then we can do the hug stuff again if you want. Our abundance, I never cease to be amazed how it always works out. The financial part always works out. The people that care and help always works out. It's in every facet of our lives. And actually all we need to do is be open and receptive to it and be aware that it's everywhere. Let's read together our affirmation of abundance, may we? Our abundance is manifested greatly by our consciousness. May we ponder that wisdom, sir. Thank you, Michael. As we prepare for our meditation this morning, let's sing together Only Believe, number 152 in the wings.
All things are possible, only believe. Only believe. Only believe. All things are possible, only believe.
Let's take a big breath. You can feel free to move your body. Get comfortable in your body. And then release and relax as we prepare for meditation. There is one life that we wake up to every morning. The eternal energy that is life, that is light and love. This constant, ever-flowing light and life is good. It is God. It is the life that we all share in, now and in every moment. Only believe. At the moment of conception, scientists have actually now seen that there is a burst of light that blooms forth as egg and sperm unite. It is life itself, light is, that has been granted, created in that moment. We are that light. In this moment, here and now, I recognize the bursting forth of light is life, our life. It is our life united with the all, now and forever. Let us breathe in the light and the life and unite with all love. Let us breathe in the good, unite with all good, and recognize the good within. Every breath is a prayer, a unification with all that is, all that ever was, all that ever will be. Take a breath, make a prayer, unite with good. Take a breath, know your good, know your God. As we now flow into meditation, keep breathing slowly and deeply. Keep knowing, keep accepting. You are good. Take a breath, make a prayer, go with good. Now flutter your breath, lift your heart. Remember you're good, and come back to this shining moment. Take your good with you today and share it all around. Everyone you see is the same as you, filled with light, love, life. Share your light. Take that deep breath and come on home. Namaste.
Joy, thank you very much. Well, I would like to thank Michael O'Brien for inspiring my words this morning. Isn't Michael a delight? It's just a delight. He just comes every day. He's got a special theme of stuff. He just sits up here and plays. And he just does. And I don't know how long you've been coming here, Michael. 4 or 5 years? I don't know. Long time.
3 or 4.
Yeah. Debbie Knapp brought him over, and he just kept coming back. And I am delighted that Michael is playing today. And I'm delighted to announce that 2 weeks from today, he'll be playing again. And I'm delighted that 2 weeks after that, on Potluck Sunday, Michael will be playing again. And what I'm about to say may sound a little weird, but walk with me a bit. And I'm delighted to say that Michael is making some changes in his life that he believes will enrich his life. And the 29th will be his last day here. Now, we can respond in a lot of different ways, but I think as a family of love, as a spiritual community, our response is only one, and it's twofold. One is to express to Michael our gratitude for the joy and the beauty he shared with us. And number two, wish him well, bless him, acknowledge and embrace what he is trying to do. Michael is trying to change his working. He works 7 days a week. He's trying to cut back so he's got a few days every week that he doesn't have to go to work. He can spend with his wife. And we just heard how important that is from another piano player in the room. And so, Michael, we wish you well. You have our blessing. If there's anything we can do to ease the discomfort that change brings about, and it brings about to everybody. And then comes the second part of our response, is to trust in spirit that your change, your discomfort will be something you can handle. To trust that your life will truly be enriched by these very difficult changes you're making. And for each of us to trust in spirit, our needs will be met. Because we're focused on the joy we have for Michael. We don't have lack. We don't have to say, oh my God, what are we going to do? Spirit's going to provide that. Let's trust in Spirit. Spirit has been providing for this family for 124 years. Don't think it's going to quit now, especially if we're doing what is appropriate for a spiritual community to do, and that's rally around one of our family members who is making changes to enrich his life. And when we're going through this change process, enriching lives, it's not always like perfect. I know there's a lot of people in here that enrich their lives by having pets. Those furry little four-legged creatures, they enrich your life. And I can say with experience that almost without exception, every one of those little four-legged creatures is going to poop on your floor. They are. That's part of life. That's a great, what do you call that? Yeah. Yes. And we need to trust in Spirit. I mean, it's like, we don't know, but it could quite easily be that Billy Joel or Barry Manilow just bought a winery and is looking for a little Sunday gig to where they can keep their hand in on the piano. We don't know. Spirit knows. We don't. But why would we rule that out? There is no limit for Spirit. Our limits, I think, sometimes could come about because we neglect to remember to trust in Spirit. We are here working actively to elevate our consciousness and awareness of Spirit and how it works in our lives. And we are encouraged. I hope I am encouraging, and the rest of us encourage each other to go through change. Change is uncomfortable, but if you're ever going to enrich your life, change your life, it's not going to just happen because you think it. You actually have to do the work. You have to go through the discomfort of change. And if your intention is enriching your life and the lives of those around you, trust in Spirit to get you through it. Amazing things can happen. I'm going to suggest a few things. You know, when we somehow in all this thinking, I'm reminded of Bill Moyer's story. In our lives, we all have challenges and changes going on and events and experiences. And Bill Moyer's, I love that guy. He used to tell a story about a Cherokee chief who was talking to his young grandson. And he was trying to explain him about life. He said, inside of every human, there are two wolves, and they fight all the time. Constant fighting. One's a bad wolf. He's mean and nasty. He's hateful. He wants people to be afraid. And the other wolf is a good wolf, a kind wolf, who wants people to have peace and comfort. His grandson looks at it. Which wolf wins, grandfather? He said, the one we feed. What do we feed? Do we feed our thoughts and worries of lack, of fear, of anxiety, of unknowing? Or do we feed that wolf that brings us peace and security and joy, self-worth? Like Joy just said, our good, the good in us. The good is in everything. I've listened to a lot of people over time talking about how we can improve our lives. Take our 12 easy classes and our lessons, and your life will be magnificent forever. There must be like 17,835 videos of how you can fix your life in 12 minutes, change it forever. Well, we've all watched those. But there are some things that we can maybe do that might help us get ourselves in a place where we could actually do some changing, do some shifting, do a little enriching of our life experiences. And I heard a lady, smart lady, I don't remember her name, neuroscience, I don't know, smart lady. She said, you know, you can maybe, doesn't work for everybody, but some people, if you try getting up a little earlier in the morning, that's a magic time of day, is early in the morning, before the rest of the world just gets ready to go to work and do stuff and everything happens. Get up, have your cup of tea, hear the morning birds, see a sunrise. Sunrises are magnificent. When I used to live down in Belize, I'd get up at 4:30 in the morning and I'd sit out on my veranda. I had a screened-in porch that the mosquitoes couldn't get in. I'd drink coffee and I'd watch morning happen. And all the morning birds, I lived right on the Caribbean. 42 feet from my hammock was the Caribbean. And watch morning happen, where the sea and the shore come together and all of life is just excited about a whole new another day. And maybe in that time that's quiet and there's not a whole lot of world going on, bustle and chaos, maybe we could do a little meditation or quiet time, a reflection. We don't have to rush off to work or rush off to get here or get there. We've got some time to just contemplate. Maybe at the end of our day, we could write down a little bit about what happened in our day, some experiences. I heard one guy suggest that maybe we write down 3 things that we experienced today that weren't like normal everyday stuff, that we're actually grateful for. We were actually aware of our experiences today. And there were 3 things that we actually, wow, I'm thankful that I was aware and became aware of that and how that made my day nicer, made me feel better, made me smile, made me appreciate that I got this great place to live. Just a little bit of gratitude changes the way you get ready to go to sleep. Maybe when we're eating, we could not just cram food in and get on to the next thing. Maybe just sit down and, this is food. There's a lot of people who don't have much food, and I have this. And I want to enjoy every taste. I want to enjoy the textures. And I want to know that what I'm eating is going to give me the energy to get through the rest of my day. And what I'm eating, somebody bent over for hours in the hot sun to hoe and take care of the plants from these vegetables. Somebody worked on a ladder in the hot sun with bugs, picking this fruit, picking these vegetables. Other people worked very hard for not much money to wash this fruit and wash these vegetables so that I have something healthy and delicious to fuel my body with, and that I can have this experience of being aware of what I'm consuming. and be able to enjoy that. And then something else we might do that'll put us in a more of a mood to make some changes. Why don't we shut off the phone for a couple hours a day? Seriously. We used to use the phone just like 7 minutes a day. Unless our fathers complained, and then it was only 4 minutes a day. And now we're on our devices for hours. And those devices, whatever we're taking in, looking up, they are directing our lives. They're driving our bus, not us. Just shut them off for a little while. Just give your own whole physiological self a break from the global chaos that we all seem addicted to having. We get a text, we have to answer it in 3 seconds, or maybe the world will end. Well, I will promise you, if you turn off your phones for 2 hours a day and all your devices, if the world comes to an end because of that, and I will put this in writing, I will assume full responsibility because I'm the one that encouraged you to turn that stuff off, and I will accept full responsibility for the end of the world. And I will write that down and sign it if you wish. And I heard some lady talking a long time ago. I've never forgotten this. She says, every morning when I wake up at 5:30 or 6, I take an awe walk, A-W-E, walk. And I go look for something exquisite or beautiful or extraordinary that I can feel, wow, and be in awe of. Not some device that Detroit or Mexico or somebody put in your car, but something that God created. Something beautiful. About 3 or 4 months ago, I was here working, doing something. And it was morning and it was rainy. And I was in awe when I saw a mother with like a 4-year-old boy. He discovered stomping and jumping up and down in a mud puddle. Oh, I was in awe. It was like I was experiencing that magnificent with that little boy. It could be the smallest little thing that changes your whole mood, changes your consciousness that moment. And when you have these moments, like we just had in meditation, or like when we see a kid jumping up and down in the mud puddle, or when we see a beautiful flower. I was out with Yvonne out to Bodega Bay a while back on a Thursday. And there are some most beautiful flowers. I did not know what they were. They're about this high, and they're purple and blue. And in the wintertime, they just turn black, but they're still beautiful. And then in the spring, they just become purple and blue, and they're little, thousands of little flowers. And I never knew what they were. And I know about flowers and things. I know Veronica Hebes, and I know alyssum, and I know a lot about growing things. But I didn't know what that was. So when my granddaughter was here, we went out there. I said, I wish I knew what those, she said, Grandpa, those are beautiful. I said, I wish I knew what they were. She goes, click, click, click. Those are Pride of Madeiras from Portugal. Wow. And they're gorgeous. And just to look at one, stop, pull the car over right out by the marina out there, pull the car and just walk up and look at one. They're amazing. That's something to see in your awe walk. It just, we we can never actually have too much awe in our lives. We can never have too much peace. We can never have too much love. We can have too much of the negative stuff, make us blow a fuse. But all of us, maybe we could take a lesson from Michael and rethink what we're doing for a living, how our lifestyles. Maybe we'd have an opportunity, if we made some changes, to have a little more time to spend with family or friends, or maybe to spend a little more time taking in the beauty and the good things that are happening in our community. There's so many good things. I talk about them all the time. COTS and Redwood Gospel Mission, they're moving their offices out to the old Say building. And it's just, they're doing amazing things. And I don't know how they get all their money and funding. The Council on Aging, they're doing amazing stuff. They keep expanding what they're doing. And it's just, that doesn't come from pondering chaos and anger and hate and fear. That comes from pondering and surrounding yourself with love, appreciation, respect for human life. So I encourage all of us to really appreciate the Sundays that Michael's going to be here in June, and know that with our blessing and our support and our added intention, he's going to enrich his life very soon. And he's going to be able to spend more time with his family. And he's going to trust Spirit to take care of the money and the other things that he's having to shift, knowing that he's got $1 million worth of friends and family right here in this little room. We can look at this world. It's a messed up, crazy world of violence and chaos. Or we can look at this world in its beauty and its awe and its love and compassion that people have for each other, caring for each other, and forgiveness and acceptance. And their intention, people's intention to have gratitude and to have peace and to feel the security that we can feel living here in this beautiful place we call home. It's really quite a wonderful world we live in. It truly is. And I think all of us could spend a little more time shutting off the phone and just looking around, sucking up the beauty and the peace. Watch the kids playing. Watch neighbors working in the yard, just plant little flowers, little more marigolds and petunias, just doing their thing to add to the beauty of this world we live in. Michael, we thank you. It's time to get back at the piano and go back to work. We pay you a fortune every Sunday, almost enough to buy a quarter of a tank of gas. It's time to go back to work. Let's sing what a wonderful world we live in, and we are all part of it, just so you know.
I see trees of green, red roses too. night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people who go by. I see friends shaking hands, shaking hands with you. They're only saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. God, much more than we'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
All right, Michael, can you give us a minute while we circle up? It may take a moment. All right, we are ready, sir.
Amen. Amen.
Glad to see you, man.